Okay. Second game.
Let's see. Let me guess this one. So
Rams at 49. I mean, 49ers at Rams.
The Rams have never beaten the 49ers in NFL history, if I recall correctly. Or at least they've struggled under Sean McVay.
That's what it feels like.
Versus Kyle Shanahan. So
Kyle Shanahan 6-0 against Sean McVay.
God almighty.
No. Sorry. 49ers are 6-0 versus the Rams since the start of 2019 season, despite being an underdog in 5 of the 6 of those games.
I'm going to say Rams minus 2.5. Breech?
Well, I know it because it's on the screen now.
Oh, I didn't even see it. Oh, it's
I was going to guess 3, and the answer is 3.5.
That feels like a sucker bet.
The 49ers plus 3.5 is minus 120. Tim Kamakawi of the Athletic tweeted out something about he's like, maybe the 49ers open us on, and like this is what happens in now that gambling's like a thing with the NFL where it's legal and everybody's talking about it, even traditional reporters. Tim tweeted out, maybe the 49ers are dogs to open, but he's like, I'd be shocked if they didn't close as the favorite, and just got pelted by quote tweets from gambling Twitter, which is at hellscape, and ended up blocking everybody. The point being is the Rams are going to be favored here. They're at home. They're trying to keep 49ers fans from buying tickets by only allowing people to purchase tickets on Ticketmaster if you're in the metro Los Angeles area.
That's
which feels like some kind of violation.
Well, that's a lot of like.
No, the Broncos did that in the AFC title game in 2015 playing the Patriots. They only sold it to people in the Rocky Mountain region.
Yeah,
so that's been done before. I mean,
why?
Well, the last time these two teams played in LA, the Rams had to use the silent count because there were so many 49ers fans, and they don't want to get, Stan Kroenke does not want to watch his team get embarrassed because there's 80% 49ers fans making Matthew Stafford work on the silent count.
Why is it insane to think that the 49ers might close this point spread, given that
they're not going to open? It would require like Matthew Stafford getting COVID or something.
I'm just talking about based on the way this season's gone so far and their history between Shanahan and McVay.
If the 49ers were going to close as favorites, they would just open as favorites.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Why is this point spread not closer? I feel like the game will be closer than the point spread based on the way the season has.
My initial leaning is to take the Niners because Kyle Shanahan owns Sean McVay. But Matthew Stafford, the 49ers secondary is really bad. The Rams had them down 17-0 at half in that game in the regular season and just kind of choked it away. They lost.
Which is the only loss in Sean McVay's career where the Rams were winning at halftime.
That's right.
And they lost. So I think he's 46.
He almost added to that list on Sunday, by the way.
He did almost add to that list. So it really, I think your pick in this game depends on which game you think was more indicative of how these two teams are. Because the first game, the Rams jumped out to a 17-0 lead. The second game, the one you just talked about, in the first game, the 49ers jumped out to a 14-0 lead because Matthew Stafford threw a pick six, and things quickly unraveled from there. So
let me ask you guys this: Who do you?
I would say too on that first game, the Niners were 3 that was when they were 3-5. Rams were 7-2, and the Niners were just a way more desperate team, and they came out playing like it.
Who do you trust more?
That's a great
Matthew
question.
Stafford and Sean McVay and the potential for turnovers that they seem to not be able to get away from, or the running game, Kyle Shanahan and a Jimmy G. We don't know who's going to show up.
I think the concern here. I mean, I don't know. It's a good question
because the running game is going to be the difference. The running game and the play calls, obviously, the defense is another conversation. But Jimmy G versus Matthew Stafford, I mean, even I can recognize it. That's a no-brainer.
Thank you.
Jimmy G just drives me crazy with the inconsistencies. The running game is a great equalizer.
I think the difference here is so against the Packers, the 49ers offensive line was not very good. If they play like that against Aaron Donald and Von Miller, the Rams should win this game.
I think Trent Williams left on crutches. Is that what the report was after the game?
Trent Williams is out. Give me the Rams. I mean,
he is out.
If for some reason he is not playing, that's a problem. I mean, they've used him in motion multiple times. Ridiculous. I think I mean, gosh, Shanahan owns McVay. It's crazy. But in that second matchup where the Rams were already in the playoffs, but trying to win the division, and the 49ers were out of the playoffs, if they don't win the game. The Niners were down 17-0 and came back. The other thing is, and shout out Barry Horse, my boy, for pointing this out, but I believe now the 49ers will be road underdogs in is it 4 or 5 straight games? Like, that's a crazy run. It's not like the Bucs where last year where they were, on the road with COVID stuff and not big crowds, and they were favored in some games.
Guess what Jimmy G is a playoff underdog.
And as a road player. It's incredible. What is it?
4-0.
That's ridiculous. So this will be the 4th straight game that they are on the road without a bye as an underdog. Whew, man, it's tough.
That is tough. And you look at these two meetings, one other thing they have in common, you look at Matthew Stafford's numbers here on the screen, 4 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. He had 2 interceptions in both games. So, they put a lot of pressure on him. He got sacked, I think, 5 times in that second meeting where the 49ers came back from 17-0. So, it might be a little bit in his head. Look, I'm playing this team that has crushed me twice this season. We might see Detroit Lions and Matthew Stafford out there.
All right. So people keep saying that. What if Matthew Stafford's just really good in the playoffs and the thing that was holding him back was the Detroit Lions? He's played really well the last 2 games.
But he's bad against the 49ers.
And he played not great during the course of the season when he wasn't wearing a Lions helmet. I think that playoff win has probably taken something, whether he would admit it or not, taken the piano off his back or monkey off his shoulder, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, of course, for sure.
And he has certainly played better the last 2 weeks. But to Breech's point, sometimes that thing can unravel pretty quickly. Like you have the crazy pass, and you're like, oh my God, what's going on? And then before you can catch your breath, he's done it again.
I would say this. I think the Rams can blow out the 49ers. I don't think the 49ers can blow out the Rams.
No, I agree with that because, as we just saw on Saturday against a defense that's not been very good this year, and the Packers, they were harassing Jimmy G all night. If it weren't for Joe Burrow, it felt like he got sacked more than anyone else. So, yeah, I think that's right. So I think you have to, again, lean on the running game and lean on your defense and keep your fingers crossed that Trent Williams is healthy.
And I say that, I said the Rams could blow out the 49ers. They were up 17-0 and the Niners came back, of course.
And also worth noting, for as much as we love Aaron Donald and Jalen Ramsey and that defense is tiny in terms of up front. You can push them around. And that's how you get the running game.
Yep.
And that could be also sort of the difference.